Dov Binyamin was wearing his lightest caftan, but in the heat wave it felt as if it were made of the heaviest wool. Passing a bank of phones, he considered calling work, making some excuse or even telling the truth. "Shy," he would say, "I am a ghost in my home and wonder who will mend my talus bag when it is worn." His phone card was in his wallet, which he had forgotten on the dresser. And what did he want to explain to Shy for, who had just come from a Shabbos with his spicy wife and a house full of children? Dov followed Jaffa Street down to the old city. Roaming the alleyways always helped to calm him. There was comfort in the Jerusalem stone and the walls within walls and the permanence of everything around him. He felt a kinship with history's Jerusalemites, in whose struggles he searched for answers to his own. Lately, he felt closer to his biblical heroes than to the people with whom he spent his days. King David's desires were far more alive to Dov than the empty problems of Shai and the other men at the furniture store. Weaving through the Jewish quarter, he had intended to end up at the wall, to say Tehillim, and, in his desperate state, to scribble a note and stuff it into a crack, just like the tourists in their cardboard yarmulkes. Instead, he found himself caught up in the crush inside the Damascus gate. An old Arab woman was crouched down behind a wooden box of cactus fruit. She peeled a sabra with a kitchen knife, allowing a small boy a sample of her product. The child ran off with his mouth open, a stray thorn stuck in his tongue. Dov Binyamin tightened his hold on the talus bag and pushed his way through the crowd. He walked back to Mea Shearim along the streets of East Jerusalem. Let them throw stones, he thought, though no one did. No one even took notice of him except to step out of his way as he rushed to his Rebbe's house for some advice. Meir the beetle was in the front room, sitting on a plastic chair at a plastic table. "Don't you have work today?" Meir said without looking up from the papers that he was shifting from pile to pile. Dov Binyamin ignored the question. "Is the Rebbe in?" "He's very busy." Dov Binyamin went over to the kettle, poured himself a mug of hot water, and stirred in a spoonful of Nescafe. "How about you don't give me a hard time today?" "Who's giving a hard time?" Meir said, putting down the papers and getting up from the chair. "I'm just telling you, Sunday is busy after a day and a half without work." He knocked at the Rebbe's door and went in. Dov Binyamin made a blessing over his coffee, took a sip, and being careful not to spill, lowered himself into one of the plastic chairs. The coffee cut the edge off the heat that, like Dov, sat heavy in the room. The Rebbe leaned forward on his stender and rocked back and forth as if he were about to topple. "No, this is no good. Very bad. Not good at all." He pulled back on the lectern and held it in that position. The motion reminded Dov of his dream, of the rumbling of engines and a vase. There had been a blue glass vase, set to rocking on a shelf. "And you don't want a divorce?" "I love her, Rebbe. She is my wife." "And Chava Bela?" "She, thank God, has not even raised the subject of separation. She asks nothing of me but to be left alone." And this is where the serpent begins to swallow its tail. The more she rejects me, the more I want to be with her. And the more I want to be with her, the more intent she becomes that I stay away. "She is testing you." "Yes. In some way, Rebbe, Chava Bela is giving to me a test." Pulling at his beard, the Rebbe again put his full weight on the lectern so that the wood creaked. He spoke in a Talmudic sing-song. "Then you must find the strength to ignore Chava Bela until Chava Bela should come to find you. And you must be strict with yourself, for she will not consider your virtues until she is calm in the knowledge that her choices are her own." But I don't